Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Colorado Springs Comic-Con. I'm Sarah Cosmama, and we are live here at the Project Nerd booth, and I am so grateful to be graced with two beautiful presences here. We have Debbie Dunning and Richard Karn. Thank you guys so much for coming to join us today.
I just love being live. This is so great. We are live. You're watching us in real time.
How?
That's what we can do. We can't make a mistake.
There's no pressure.
Well, we can make stuff up. And we're good at it.
Awesome. So really quick, before we get into a bunch of other stuff, how are you guys liking the con? How has it been, your experience so far? I know it's only day one.
It is day one.
It's day one. It's fun. It's good.
Mhm.
It's big. I mean, there's a lot of. You need more?
There you go. Keep going.
Oh, okay. I got to eat the mic. This is what's going on. I hope there hasn't been a lot of other people eating this mic.
You're
good now that the volume is up. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you're live. That's what happens when you're live.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really great. And a lot of people dressing up. Yeah, you know, just subtly, not so subtly, but it's really been kind of a fun con.
Awesome. Have you been having a good time, Debbie? It's been
Yeah,
good?
we're having a good time. It's always nice to meet people who grew up watching Home Improvement and hear the stories of how they were affected. And it's also nice to remember episodes because we did so many episodes. And they have their favorites and they bring it back. And it's, you know, you kind of go back in time for a minute.
Yeah, well, speaking about Home Improvement, I mean, that was a great little moment to share right there. Has there been a... There we go. I was on now. I think it was just off. Live TV, live streaming. So was there ever a moment, either today or another convention? I'm sure you guys do a lot of this stuff, like where a fan did come up and share a story that was stuck out to you that was memorable. Like,
No, not one story.
A reoccurring story is that because our show was in the 90s, right? And it was like one of the last of the shows where you had to sit down and watch it in real time.
Yeah.
And usually it's with your parents because it's a family show. And so they have all these memories embedded in being in their living room or their family room with their parents, with their grandparents. Yeah. You know, it's really wonderful that they have that, they have that experience.
That's great. I was one of those people as well. So it's really exciting to think about that. When it comes to just like what you guys have been up to now, things like that, tell me, is there anything new and recent that either of you guys have been doing that you've been really excited to share about?
For the last 5 years, I've been producing a show called Debbie Dunning's Dude Ranch Roundup. And it's a show about showcasing the travel experience as a vacation. So I go there and
at dude ranches
across the U.S. I just shot Ted Turner's. I flew into Colorado Springs and drove to Vermejo, which is very close to here. And if you haven't been to that ranch, it's not a dude ranch anymore. It's a preserve, and it's somewhere where he brought back the Rio Grande cutthroat trout, where we were thinking they were extinct. He's also upped the population of the bison. It's incredible. I loved that last ranch. I loved all my ranches, but that's very fresh and new to me. And being back in Colorado Springs the very next month, it's kind of exciting.
We do anything like I know riding horse and like that. Have you done anything like any wild adventures like with any of the animals? Like have you gone off into the mountains, anything like that, or you just stay on the ranch?
Well, last time we were fly fishing, we saw a couple bears, a mama and her cub, and then we were leaving to go across the property. Now the property is like 266 miles one way. We literally saw a bison giving birth. So we'd all jumped out and started filming. And
you did not?
Yeah,
did
it was
really?
Crazy.
Well,
the baby didn't actually come out because then I was sitting there after the second hour and I Googled it. Could it take anywhere from, 2 to 16 hours?
Oh, yeah.
So we went and got lunch and
came
back. But she had already broken her
bison
water.
burgers.
Yeah. We decided to have bison burgers, just the hell of it.
Yeah. Awesome. What about you, Richard?
Well, I've been doing a show with Tim, actually, for the History Channel, and it also streams on Hulu. Last year, it was called Assembly Required. It was kind of a competition building show, kind of a real life tool time in a weird way, but it's unscripted. And then this year, we took out the competition. We still had people come and build things, and we talked about it and visited different areas, and it was a lot of fun. It was very interesting.
Because when competing to get something done with a live saw, things can happen.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we're having these guys build something in 90 minutes. And it didn't occur to me at the time, but now I'm watching the show. I'm going, someone could really hurt themselves. And it, the flame is going up his arm as I'm saying this to myself. And I go, yeah, you see, somebody could hurt themselves.
There's a lot of paperwork before they got into that show. Is that
well, they're all trained professionals, but when you put them on a time limit, I mean, we had an actual rocket scientist couldn't finish in 90 minutes because he was too precise. You could tell that what he was building was going to be wonderful, but they didn't do it. He didn't do it in time, and he didn't move on.
What's one of your favorite things that was built in like all the times you've been filming for that show? Oh
my God! Well, I think the best one was the leaf blower flamethrower, which was very cool. But I'm chagrined to say that I wasn't told that there was a special button on mine that could make the flame burn a lot hotter, a lot bluer. And I think if I'd known that button was there, my flamethrower would have won.
You would have gone all out.
Yeah. Oh, you were competing.
Oh, no, we don't compete. Yeah, we compete.
So just thinking about your time on Tool Time, I know for me especially, I grew up watching it. It was very special. Definitely a family show, like you mentioned. Do you have any like funny stories or pranks or anything that may have happened on set? Uh-oh, I see a face.
You go first. There's so many.
Well, an interesting story. Early on, we had Chris McDonald. Yeah, he was shooter in Happy Gilmore, and he came on as one of Tim's college roommate friends. Who was still trapped in college days, and the audience didn't really take to him. And Chris is a very funny guy, but the audience was like, and there came a point where he was crushing a beer can on his forehead, and I think he was doing it a little with too much exuberance, and he cut his forehead. And I think that's the only time in all of the Tool Time mishaps that somebody cut themselves.
Cut themselves.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's really committing to the part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but in the room, the audience wasn't that into him. But once we edited it and everything, it worked out great. I mean, it was a very funny episode.
The three of us always had little things we would do. I mean, we would do silly things. I remember like Richard and I would come in, and if he wasn't in the main story and just Tool Time, we would go through Tool Time at notes and get let go early. I remember after I had my child, I was able, and I'm still able to, get my stomach really far out. And, we would leave, and then I would see Tim just glance up for a second, and I would stick my stomach out and just like waddle away. And they're supposed to be finishing up the living room notes or whatever, the backyard. Anyway, we always did little tiny things like that.
It sounds like it was a really good time. That's really great.
Well, we were able to wander the Disney lot, which, how cool is that? Yeah, because things, in our stage 4, Darby and the Little People was filmed. So was Tron. Next Door, there was like all these different things. But I walked into one of these stages, and there was no floor. The floor was gone. It was 4. They dug down 4 floors.
Was it Armageddon?
And it was Armageddon.
Oh,
it was
wow.
I remember that.
The
Michael Bay.
Michael Bay was the director. But it was the meteorite that they land on was in this stage. And I come back and I say, Tim, we got to shoot something there. And so we go back and he talks to Michael Eisner, and Michael Eisner has to talk to Michael Bay, and Michael Bay's like, I don't want anybody seeing this before. So you can't show it, 6 months until after we've opened. And we filmed a very funny little kind of after the show cold ending
outtake
kind of thing. Yeah, outtake. Well, it wasn't really an outtake, but it was Wilson's basement. It was very funny.
We got to look that up.
I know.
I say that's fantastic. Was it you just like stumbled upon it?
Just yeah. But we would stumble on stuff. They were Bette Midler and Kathy and Jimmy. They were doing the witch. The witch movie, Hocus Pocus.
You stumbled in on the Hocus Pocus.
Well, there's so many shows going on at all times. You have all these different stages. You have no idea what's going on. And so as you walk over, you're going to lunch and you kind of poke your head in because people know who you are and they're not going to say you can't. And that's how you find them.
Well, who's anybody ever stumbled in on your show?
all the time. People loved coming over to see our show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mean other actors? And
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Like,
yeah.
when you have the reverse role.
Well,
yeah.
Tommy Lee stopped by when Pam came back. That was kind of interesting. And then we had Willow, who played Wilson's niece.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And Willow's mom was
He's better at this than I am.
oh my God,
I'm drawing
so
a blank
good at
as
this.
well.
Something you might not know about Richard
she
is
sang White
he's like an
Rabbit.
encyclopedia.
Oh,
Um,
here we go.
I know
We're working on. You know what though? This is just like real life.
it's so annoying when I can't
Tip of your
remember.
tongue.
Tip
It's
of my
bugging me
tongue.
too.
Yeah, yeah. Grace Slick, Or,
Oh.
not Grace Slick, but Grace Jefferson
Yeah,
Airplane.
Jefferson
yeah,
Airplane. Oh,
and so
yes.
she stopped by, to see her daughter work, which was kind of fun.
That's what's so great about live. We just glance beyond the camera and they're like giving us the
You just
answers.
gotta keep
We had the
moving
Beach
forward.
Boys on the show. They
Yes,
they were
remember that
also
episode.
cousins of Wilson.
Mhm.
We
because
had
of Brian
Rodney
Wilson.
Dangerfield. We had
Rodney
Alan
Dan-
Jackson.
yeah.
Well, we're coming up here to our time's coming to an end, and I'm so grateful. Now, I love hearing about all the things you're doing right now. Is there anything that we can look forward to? Any new seasons? Any new projects? Something we should keep an eye out for, or just
You go right ahead.
Anything
I know.
special?
The thing is a lot of times our work just shows up within a week.
yeah?
It
And then we
does.
do it. So we don't have anything,
I need the
planned.
exact date,
It's
Richard,
not
right
like I'm
now.
Tom Cruise and I got the next 4 movies in line.
Yeah.
So there's stuff will happen. And
But you did start your fans only page, right?
did I
Fans
start
only,
that?
You're only
I think he's got one coming out. Really, check it out.
I am so
Richard in lingerie.
Oh, can I get that?
the
website?
lingerie thing. That's right. Well,
And then some.
Well, the perfect place to end on this one. I think so. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you for taking the time. It's so great to have you guys here. And if you
All
are
right.
out there local right now, these two are going to be here. It's a great time to meet them. Come support Colorado
we're here
Springs
all day
Comic-Con.
Saturday, all day Sunday, although Sunday's only a half day.
So you got to come over now.
So come on over.
Come on over. Thank you. It was great.